Usually when we talk about merchandise from Star Wars released right after the film, we talk about the Kenner line that came out in 1978. But today we're going to look at other things that you could buy Star Wars related that wasn't action figures. Guys, it's time for another video. And whew, I love when we can go back to Star Wars. And we're going to go back to maybe some in 1977, but mostly 1978, when the fever pitch for Star Wars was still going on. People had Star Wars fever. You think that Pac-Man fever epidemic of the early 80s was bad? Star Wars was, everyone was into Star Wars. Your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your cousin, your mom, your dad. Everybody loved Star Wars. And when somebody loves stuff, merchandise is going to get flooded. And of course, we always talk about the Kenner action figures and the ships and everything. But today, I figure we kind of dig into some of the other stuff. Some released by Kenner, some not, that hit stores between 1977 and 1978. And just check them out, because I just really love this time period. It was before Star Wars really became what we know Star Wars today. So let's take a look at it. And we're going to start right here in 1978. A calendar. Probably hit stores around 1977. You don't want to buy a calendar halfway into 1978. So a Star Wars calendar. And you got to put your mind frame back in it. A lot of you that grew up in this time period, you know, if you saw pictures from the movie, that was amazing. We didn't have, Netflix or YouTube. We couldn't just pull up the trailer. We couldn't put a TV. We couldn't put anything. We wanted to see something Star Wars. We had to walk around till we found it. And it was always great to have a calendar. You flip through and look. You could look ahead. I know it's January, but you could look. You could go ahead and look and see what March is going to look like. Nobody's going to stop you. And then you had the toothbrush. Yep. Even in the bathroom, we had Star Wars on our mind. I know, you got to tell me about the $6 Million Man. We're going to get through this. Well, we were done all that. But anyway, the toothbrush is electronic. I always wanted this, and I still want this today as part of the collection. Again, I just love this time period, and I would love to have this one right here. That's a guy that's brushing his teeth with pride right there. Look at that. And then we have toy related for sure, but not action figure related. I love this. I've got it hanging up here. I love this gun as a kid. It was one of my favorite toys to play with. I even just put it in my mouth, make it sound like I was going to the dentist office. I love this thing. It was awesome. Again, back before they started painting everything bright colors and everything, it looked like what we saw in the movie, other than that Star Wars sticker on it. It kind of upset me. But I love this. And if Han Solo wasn't for you, there was another one for Luke Skywalker. I never had this one. I don't even remember this one until I got older and started collecting Star Wars stuff. I don't really even have this one, but I wish I saw it as a kid. I think this one would have been cool too, but not as cool as Han Solo. Han Solo, I could twirl it around like I was a cowboy. And check out this right here, an AM radio headset. Man, I would have loved this as a kid. I would have loved it. Although they probably picked up some crappy shit on AM, I would still would have loved it. I would have walked around the house talking to this thing, acting like I was Luke Skywalker. My parents would have hated me more than usual if I had this thing on my head. Be like, take that thing off while you're trying to eat corn. Oh. And how about dip dot? No, not Dippin' Dots, you damn millennials. Dip dots, just a big old piece of cardboard, came with paint, and you had to paint what you wanted to. I never really did. I guess it's paint by number, something kind of like that. I don't think I ever did this right here, but you could do it. You could paint the Falcon, you could paint the X-Wing, you could paint the TIE Fighter, you could paint all kinds of things. And they also had, I did a whole video breaking down this thing. It's awesome. Didn't know about this one as a kid either. I would love to have this as a kid. It's a Star Wars duel at Death Star racetrack. It's awesome. It's got some big old head of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader on the racetrack. It just looked like a lot of fun. One I wish I knew about as a kid. I would have loved to have that. And how about this? Yep, poster set. Another kind of paint by number thing. A big old piece of cardboard. You get it. You get these little paints and you color them. That's what you do with it. I never really got into this stuff. I think I had a few of them. I don't know if I had Star Wars or not. I can just vaguely remember having some of these things. I think the ones I had usually came with markers, though, and not paint. And you have the pop bag. Yeah, for people that want to beat, you just saw Star Wars, you want to beat up Darth Vader. You hate that guy. You couldn't stand that guy when you got home. You was about, 6, 7, you got home, you saw Star Wars, like, oh, you never had that. Darth Vader was the first person in my generation that we really hated. We couldn't stand him, so we'd get home, blow this up, and punch it around throughout the house. And look, Star Wars red logo. You really didn't see that much back then. And if you didn't want to beat up Darth Vader, he could beat up Chewbacca. I don't know what kind of kid would beat up Chewbacca, but apparently this kid right here is going to give him a left and a right. He pulled out his bud nippers. He's giving it to him. He's going to give him a knuckle sandwich. And you could also beat up a Jawa. Who would want to beat up a cute little Jawa? These two kids, brothers and sisters, beating up a Jawa together. It ain't bad enough. Somebody wanted to beat up R2D2. Well, if my mom bought me pants like that, I think I'd beat up on R2D2 also. Because, man, who wears pants like that? Ooh, like somebody shot a couch. Let's move on here to PlayDoh sets. Yep, even PlayDoh got in the act. It was owned by Kenner at the time. And they made PlayDoh. Don't eat the Play. I used to hate when my friends want to mix my PlayDoh. I know on the box it mixes it, but you can't get it unmixed. I hate when people come over and want to play my PlayDoh and they want to play it all together. Oh, let's make a Mr. Bill. No, it's going to mix. You play with red, I'll play with blue. We'll keep it right there. And how about this? The van set. Now, you could buy this as a set or you could buy one of each. And I had the black one. I got, well, you can't see. I got the black one back there. I'd love to get the white one one day. This set came here with some barrels knocked over. Mine didn't do that. I don't think it came with anything. But I had the black one, and I can remember a guy in town. I had a van that looked kind of like the black one. Yeah, people were painting the vans up back in the day. It was awesome. Awesome time, guys. And how about an R2D2 remote control? It's okay. It's one of those that's, you push the button and it goes. You got to kind of go up and back, but it kind of goes at a tilt back, so you got to go. It takes you forever to get the thing to turn around, and it never really worked good, but it was R2D2. It didn't look as good. It didn't work as good as you hoped it would work anyway. And then you had XWing Aces. This is where your little electronic game where you get to shoot TIE fighters or X-Wings or whatever, I guess. I never played this one. I never really seen this one before. I hardly ever see this thing in a toy show, but it's cool. It's one of those vintage, early Star Wars things that'd be really cool to have, just that weird time period. And I know it was released under a different name for Star Wars. We're not getting into all that. That's a whole nother video. I already done that video twice. And then we have the electronic laser battle game. Ooh, this is one you can play with your dad. Look, your dad's playing it. I never played this one either, so I don't have much memories to talk about this one right here, but it looks fun. And then you have the electronic battle command game. Look at that. I got it right. I got it right there. I got it right there. Again, another one I never played as a kid. I don't know much about it. I'm sure it was fun for the time. And then you have, the Battle Escape from the Death Star game. Escape from Death Star game. Had this. This is classic. Almost anyone that had a Star Wars game back then had this one. This had to be a huge seller. And it sucks. It's boring. It's stupid. Maybe as a kid you liked it. You try to play it today. It's like, this is horrible. I'd rather play Monopoly. Well, maybe it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And then you have the Destroy Death Star game. Never had this one, so I can't really tell you much about it. And how about this? You could decorate your bedroom to look like Star Wars. And I did. I had those curtains, and I had the bed sheets. Actually, I think my brother did, and then he moved on. Maybe everybody got something else, and then I got them. But yeah, we had them. The bed sheets and the, I can still remember the drapes over there. I remember them. We had them up in the attic for years after Star Wars. That's awesome. Man, that brings back some memories seeing that. That would have been a damn cool ass room to have as a kid, wouldn't it? And yep, a plush Chewbacca. He's no gangster. That's Chebacca. Look at him. Looks like you could get a. What do you get a Wookiee for Christmas if he already has a comb? That's what I would like to know. He also could cuddle up with an R2D2. I think this one said beep bop bloop or something. I think it did talk, and it doesn't look that cuddly. You can't really cuddle with this thing. I bet you can cuddle with this though. How about this? I thought it was gonna be a picture of a Jawa because I made a Jawa too. I thought I pulled it, but I guess I didn't. Lightsabers. These lightsabers suck. This is the inner tube lightsabers. You have to blow them up. You know when it comes with a repair kit, it sucks. You know, as soon as you hit this thing, it's going to pop. I can't believe they even did this. Not like they didn't have plastic back then. It's just Kenner didn't think it was wise to let kids have plastic toys to run around hitting each other with in the house. Hey, you might knock over a lamp. And then you have watches. Yeah, you even had Star Wars watches. Little older kid want to look cool when he goes to school with a what's that Star Trek on a Star Wars page? Get that crap out of here. Star Wars watches. And how about this? Necklaces. We could look cool. Had a Star Wars necklace. I had 3PO right there. I had a friend, and I think Jimmy had a Chewbacca, if I remember correctly. Don't hold me. Don't find out years later that Jimmy didn't have it and get mad at me. And how about this? An R2D2 AM radio. Again with the AM. Was it more expensive to put FM and stuff? I don't understand. Like, it wouldn't cost any extra to put FM, put them both in there. Just a little, or if you're just going to have one, just put FM. I don't know why it would cost more. I don't know nothing about radio making, so maybe I'm wrong. But there it is, R2D2. This is the rare one. I hardly ever see this thing outside the internet. And then we have, a talking alarm clock. I remember wanting this as a kid. I remember seeing this at Sears when my family would go to Sears. It was exciting when you went to Sears. It's exciting when you went to the mall. It wouldn't happen much. You want to go to the mall, you'd be excited. See TVs and refrigerators and stuff. It was awesome. And I don't know who this kid is, but I hope his name's Bradley Time. I'm going to call this guy Bradley Time. I hope he's a time traveler. Bradley Time. I wonder what happened to that kid. I'd like to interview him. But there it is. Alarm clock. Check out this right here. Yep, you could even have Star Wars on your toes. Star Wars Clarks. Look at them shoes. I'm not saying they're pretty, not saying they're great, but I remember I had one of these. On the bottom of it, I don't know if it was Clarks I had, but I think so. On the bottom, it had a little picture of like R2D2 or something, so he stepped in sand or dog dookie, it'll leave an imprint. It'll leave an imprint of R2D2. It was awesome. I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then you have pop-up books. Now, I didn't have this, but my library did. And I can remember going to the library and getting this book all the time, sitting and looking at it, making it pop up, making it pop up. I always wanted it, never had it. I don't know why I never had it. I think I had an Empire Strikes Back pop-up book. But you remember the other book, too? It was like a flip and match. It was like, you flip it, you're like, oh, like Luke Skywalker shooting at a, I don't know, a spaceship, and you can flip it so he's shooting at a protocol droid or something. Hey, remember that? You know what I'm talking about? You could do almost like a different book every time you read it. And then you had puzzles. Of course you had puzzles. I had tons of these, more than this right here. Puzzles. All kinds. I remember my brother had Obi-Wan fighting Kenobi. Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader puzzle. Put it together, glued it, made it, hung it on his wall. I thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, I didn't know you could do that with a puzzle. And then you have the coloring books. Like a lot more than this one. This is the one we're looking at right here. Coloring book. A lot of fun. You could even color a lightsaber. Who would have thought that? If somebody told you in 1973 that a few years from now you'll be able to color a lightsaber, they would have thought you were crazy. And how about this? The Star Wars Give a Show. I had this. I love this thing. I can remember being in my room at night, after I was supposed to go to bed and everything, shining this thing up on the wall, looking at it. It was awesome. It was like Star Wars. You just put Star Wars. I didn't need Netflix. I didn't need YouTube. I had Star Wars in my mind. It was freaking awesome. And then we have Star Wars Super 8. Another way to watch Star Wars. We had this one, but it was a pain to watch because your dad wouldn't ever want to get everything. I'm not getting the film projector out. And if you get it out when he's at work, he finds out he gets all mad at you and everything. Didn't have sound. About 5 minutes, but it was cool to see. I think it was the one we had in black and white. I think you could get one with sound. And then you have Movie Viewer. You can see I got the Movie Viewer right up here. Another one I loved. Another one I love this thing. It was a lot of fun. You could have got more than just Star Wars. And they even made one for Alien movie. But I love watching. You could go backwards and watch it go backwards. I just can't explain how awesome this was. If you didn't grow up in this time period, you just don't know. And check out this. Dixie Cups. You can get a whole collection of damn Dixie Cups. You never thought you'd be excited about a small paper cup, but you were because it was a Dixie Cup. Man, it was awesome. You wanted to collect them all. And that's a look at things released between 1970 and 1978 that wasn't really part of the action figure line. I thought it'd be really fun to look at. Again, I really love this time period. And I'm sure the things I forgot. So tell me about something you had around this time period that you just really loved.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.